So on Sunday, Texas State House Democrats fled the state of Texas to rob Texas Republicans of what's known as a quorum, essentially an ability to move forward with any legislation pending in the state. And the legislation pending in the state is, if you've been following this feed, an attempt to redraw the congressional map of Texas to help Republicans gain as many as 5 new seats. So Democrats got out of town, literally. They went to Illinois, they went to New York, and they went to Massachusetts. These are 3, obviously, Democratic states that welcomed them and celebrated them. This tactic will not work. Sorry, Democrats, and I'll explain why. For a few reasons. Number one, it hasn't worked in the past. So in 2003, Democrats did this. In 2021, they did this. They even stayed away for, at one point, 60 days. They stayed out of the state for 60 days. But ultimately, they came back. This was to protest an election law. But eventually, they came back, and Republicans got what they wanted. And that's what's going to happen here, too. Because the reality of the situation, okay, is you live in Texas. You represent Texas. You're not going to move to Chicago or Boston semi-permanently, right? It's not a long-term solution. It's a way to protest. I think it's a way to draw national attention, but it doesn't work, especially because the governor of Texas in this situation has a lot of power. Greg Abbott, who is a Republican, can just keep calling special sessions, as many as he wants, all the way until something happens, right? So he can keep calling 30-day special sessions, which is what we're in the midst of right now, until Democrats come back. And he's going to do that. He can also impose a $500 a day fine on Democrats for being out of the state. That's a new part of the law that was added in recent years. And he is threatening that he is going to declare their seats vacant. I don't think he'll actually do that, but declare their seats vacant, basically say, you don't represent here anymore. We're going to have a special election to replace you. That seems a little extreme to me, but it would probably be popular in Texas. It's a pretty Republican state. So the end game here for Democrats, to me, is not at all clear. I think that, I guess they could stay out of Texas all the way through the November filing deadline, which would make it hard to operate under new maps if people filed under old maps. But again, Texas is totally controlled by Republicans, which would mean that they could say, you know what, we're going to have another different filing deadline early next year, and we're going to move the primary from in the spring next year all the way into the summer or the fall next year under these new maps. There's just no real win strategy for Democrats here. So don't fool yourself. Like, yes, it gets attention. And I think that's probably why, at least in part, they're doing it. But I've been through this several times. I've got the, look, where are my gray hairs? I've got the gray hairs to prove it. This does not work in the long run in a state where Republicans control every lever of the government and where the governor has very broad powers to declare special sessions of the legislature. He can just keep doing it. They can move the filing deadlines. There's just no way that Democrats win out of this. I guess the only question is, when do they come back? How many come back? Because I think they only need 12 Democrats to come back for there to be a quorum and for the vote to go through. So many Democrats could stay away saying we're not going to vote for it or even participate in the vote, and it could still go through if 12 Democrats do come back. So it's a political move. Logistically, it doesn't make sense. People are not going to move to other states for years, right? They have families. They want to represent their districts, et cetera, et cetera. So it'll get attention, but it will only really just slow down what I think is inevitable, which is if the Republicans have the votes to pass this, and I think they do, then we are getting a new congressional map in Texas that is going to be very beneficial for the Republican Party. What recourse do Democrats have? In Texas, almost none. In other states, California, Illinois, New York, these are states talking about opening up redistricting. That's how you would sort of level the playing field or get back at Republicans. In states where you control everything, reopen the map and do to them what they are doing to you in Texas. But in Texas, it's not going to happen. Sorry, Democrats. All right, everyone, do me one quick favor. I'm on vacation, but I'm still making these videos for you because I think it's that important. I ask you one favor. Hit that subscribe button. You get free content like this. I continue to grow as an independent news creator. Take care.